Coming up on Marcus and Joni. Are you struggling with trauma in your relationships? Dr. Doug Weiss unpacks how to recover, restore, and live free.
Tell us a story of someone that you counseled that went through this, but there was a good ending, like a terrible trauma.
Well, most of the people
Give us
I work
hope,
with
especially
have,
for people who are watching, they're like...
Well, most of the people I have, Joni, have happy endings. I mean, way into the 80, 90%. They come, they do intensive, they live happily ever after. There are those who don't work, but most of them do. So a lady comes and she thinks, okay, my husband's struggling with pornography. And then he does a polygraph, and no, it wasn't pornography. It's been 5 women, and yes, one of those women was your neighbor, your sister, your best friend.
Wow.
And that lightning bolt of trauma goes through her whole body. And this is a professional, godly, good-looking woman, and she's riveting in pain, and she's crying like a wild animal. No, no, and her whole world. See, this is what I do on Monday, okay? And I see this Monday after Monday for 30 years, okay? That's what made me write this book. And now she has to rebuild her life. It's Monday. She goes to groups. She starts trusting some of the women, starts telling her story, gets support, and she begins to move out of it. And she can stay in that support for a whole year on the phone and get counseling. And if he does recovery, he's in group. He's taking responsibility. He's owned his story. He's blocked all the stuff that got him in trouble, and he's walking out of it as a man. And they live happily ever after. Actually, last week we had someone who they did a re-ceremony of their marriage. Okay, and it was an anorexic story, so they haven't had sex like in years, but they did that week because they got some freedom. And so we see miracles, but it's good to know sometimes where the miracle's coming from. And these women pay a big price. They really do. And men need to know there is a price that women pay when we don't protect them.
How are they healed? Because I know every scenario, every story is totally
different. And so
there is a God factor in all of this.
Oh yeah, well you gotta trust God too. Right? He's got to walk through that storm with you. And you got to know he loves you, because that's the source where you get strength from. And then you got to find out there's other ladies that have been through this and love you as well. And then you'll eventually find out that he really does love you if he's trying and he's working on it, and he matures and he gets the help he needs, you know. But every woman's journey is different, because some get depression, some don't. Some get PTSD, full-blown PTSD, and some never do, okay? Some get physical issues, some don't. And so you have to actually evaluate every woman. That's kind of what our job is at Heart to Heart. It's like, okay, what's going on with you? Okay, I want you to make sure you're doing this, this, and this, and this lady's not doing that because she doesn't have that issue.
Yeah.
Because this subject is important. Get that book, go to the website. There are all kind of other things that are available.